We are broadcasting live from the fountains at the Bellagio here for CBS Sports HQ. Chris Hassel, Lige Douzable, Pete Frisco, and a man who scored a touchdown the last time these two teams matched up in the Super Bowl 4 years ago, RAHEEM Mostert, who, hey, Lige, you played with him in San Fran. Thanks for bringing your boy over.
Of course, man. I'm glad my guy had some time to come by with us, and we'll go ahead and get into it, RAHEEM. Hass and Pete, I'm so proud of this guy. We were teammates, like you said, in 2017, and he had been released 7 times in 3 years before coming to the 49ers, right before we were teammates in 2016. He was buried on the depth chart, right? Bided his time, was an ace on special teams for us that 2017 season. 2018 season gets a little bit more carries, right? Because I believe Jerick McKinnon got hurt, right? Yep. 2019 season is where he really took off. I believe Jerick McKinnon got hurt. He got his opportunity and ran with it and had a historic run in the Super Bowl, on the way to the Super Bowl for the 49ers to the Chiefs. Got that deal for the 49ers, then dealt with some more adversity, right? Got banged up the next 2 years, signs to Miami, and then this year, 1,000-yard rusher, tied for the league in touchdowns with 21 this year. RAHEEM, just talk about your journey from the beginning to now. Like, what was your why that kept you going those first 3 years when you got released 7 times?
Yeah, you know, first off, thank you guys for having me. I truly appreciate you guys. You know, this is a moment for me that I'm always going to cherish. And so, with that being said, you know, I've always looked at, you know, my why and my purpose in not only football but in life is always be your best, right? Be your best self when your best is required. And so, I took that into account early on, right? And you know, I just try to play that role of being a team guy and improving.
Did you ever say, maybe I should move away from this and do something else and get on with my life, or were you determined enough to just keep going?
Yeah, I think, you know, after getting cut so many times, started building a callus, and you know, it started happening in when I was with Cleveland. Just signed Hugh Jackson, made the 53-man roster. Funny enough, my wife's bridal shower, I got cut the same day. So that night I had a come into the heart moment with my wife, and I asked her. I said, hey, what do you think we should do? You know, I've been cut several times at this point. It's my 2nd year, and she asked me one question and one question only: how much do you love the game? And I told her I've been playing this game ever since I was 7, and she was like, well, that's your answer. So
incredible.
Yeah.
How it's worked out for you with the 49ers all those years, getting to the Super Bowl, scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, now with the Dolphins leading the league in touchdowns. Do you still have like a list of the dates that you were cut? I know you had said that before, that you wrote down the dates that you were cut. You mentioned the bridal shower. Do you still have that? Do you still use that for motivation?
I still have it, yep, and I still use it. I mean, it burns that fire inside. You know, it's still me having that chip on my shoulder.
So what's it like being back here at the Super Bowl? I know you wish you were playing in it, but your former team, a bunch of them played with you 4 years ago against the team that knocked you off. What are your feelings going into this one?
Man, you know, I was on Radio Row, got asked this question, who do I want to win? And it's like you're playing with a double-edged sword, right? It's you know, I want the Niners to win because, you know, I know those guys. I know, you know, Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, you know, I know everybody. Ayuk when he was a rookie, Fred Warner, all those guys, and I want them to win. But it's also, you got Pat Mahomes, you got you know, Andy Reid, you got Spags. They're a great team, and they're hitting at the right time.
RAHEEM, a lot of people may not know this about you, but you were a track star in college, two-sport athlete. Pete, you know this. I kid all the time and say the Miami Dolphins have a 4x100-meter relay team, right? So let's play a quick game with you, right? We're going to build an all-speed team, right? Okay. You get a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers, and a tight end. Based off of speed, who are you picking at quarterback?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, all right. Running back?
Myself.
Yes. I like that. I like that. Receiver?
Tyreek and Waddle.
The Miami
so it's the Dolphins with Lamar Jackson.
With Lamar Jackson.
Who's it going to be the tight end?
The tight end? God, who's a fast tight end?
Smythe?
Durham, he has a little speed.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a little speed. I'd take Gesicki. Mike got a little speed too, so he's underrated though.
Well, talking about your Dolphins, right? 2 years in a row going to the wild card round. What do you think this team needs to do to get over that hump so you get back to the Super Bowl like you did when you were with the 49ers?
Yeah, when I was with the Niners, you know, we got over that hump fairly quickly, right? And I think one of the things that helped was the experience. We had guys that came into the locker room that understood the severity of a loss in the playoffs, and what that meant, and you got to just get over that hump. And I think that this team, the Dolphins, I think that we've done a heck of a job with getting experience, but now it's not about just making a playoff, that first game. It's about continuing that success throughout the playoffs and growing as a team.
As a running back, a lot of us talk about the devalue of the position and how you're probably not going to see a lot of the guys that carry it 25 times a game anymore. In fact, somebody was telling me the other day they think Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry might be the two last of the full-time running backs who get to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
How do you take that when you hear all that talk about the devaluing of the position?
Yeah, it's saddening, honestly, because I'm a running back by nature, running back by heart, and I've been playing this position for quite some time. And so when it comes to everyone else going out there saying, hey, look, running back position is dying, and it just takes a lot of us. And I know Christian. I've talked to Christian, throughout this season, and man, we became such great friends. And he's one and the same. He's telling us, hey, look, we just got to bring up the value of the running backs. We got to do our part. We don't have to have that chip on our shoulder all the time, but we also have to believe in ourselves and the position. Austin Eckler, he's another guy that I talked to, and he's here as well. I've talked to him multiple times since being here, and he knows that it's very important that we do something and come and join together and fight for the position.
How about a running back in this game, Isaiah Pacheco? A lot has been made about the way he runs. I feel like you're deceptively fast because there's not a lot of wasted movement. How would you compare your running style to Pacheco?
Yeah, I'm more of I'm a smooth runner, and he's a runner that he moves around a lot. He has a lot of that movement, but he's also fast and he's strong. Yeah. And that's something that's been very underrated in his game. People don't really realize that the guy is very strong and he is fast.
It's like you, touchdown machine, especially in the postseason.
Yep.
Hassan P, I don't know if you guys know, this guy has one of the funnest touchdown celebrations in all the league.
Yeah.
It's a surfing celebration. Raheem, you actually love to surf. One, how did you get into surfing? Like, I know you grew up in Florida, but was that the main reason why you got into surfing?
Yeah, I grew up in a beach town, New Smyrna Beach. Okay. And it's actually known as a shark bite capital of the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to this day still. We have some of the most craziest stories about shark bites.
So you were surfing out there with the sharks?
Yeah. I can tell you, there was one time I was out there with a group of friends. It was about like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when the waves are pretty good. Just waiting on a wave, and probably like 3 feet away from my surfboard, I just see a shark fin, right? And my natural reaction was to freak out. Yeah. And the guys I were with, they were like, hey, no, Raheem, whatever you do, don't freak out. Like, just calm down. So the first thing I did was I went in child pose, put my feet up on the board, and just waited a little bit, and then got out the water.
Are you good? Are you good, sir?
I'm pretty good, yeah. So I got offered to surf for Billabong, Team Billabong, at the age of 14.
Okay, really good then.
Yeah, really good.
NFL defenders are nothing when you're sharks out there.
Right.
That inlet up there in New Smyrna Beach is notorious for having sharks around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Raheem, thank you so much for joining us here. And I guess we've got to get a quick prediction from you, though, before you leave. What do you think is going to happen?
Man, like I said earlier, I want the Niners to win. I think they got it. Their offense is so high powered, but the defense, with the Chiefs, in the past, the 3 past postseason games for the Chiefs, the defense hasn't allowed a single point in the fourth quarter. And so I think if Brock Purdy and them boys can crank out those points, they got to win. But if not, then they're going to be in trouble, especially with Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. So my prediction, I got to go with the Niners. I feel like they're going to win it 31-27. It's going to be a good.
You don't sound so convinced of that.
It's going to be a good one, but I'm also nervous because I've been a part of that experience where Chiefs come back, they're down 10 points in that Super Bowl game.
Yep, 4 years ago, Raheem Mostert scored a touchdown in that Super Bowl for the 49ers, and back here with us, where I think you might have a post-playing career with the microphone. Raheem, thank you.